You get internet tomorrow.
All righty, welcome to the commission meeting of May 23rd, 2023. And why don't we start with the pledge, but we have a guest to lead us to the pledge. So everybody rise to the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Manager McGill, could you call the roll, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Flynn,
Present.
Commissioner Grella,
Here.
Commissioner Ranny,
I'm here.
and Commissioner Silverman.
Here.
Commissioner Swager Wilson is not with us this evening.
Let's see, first, commission managers announcements. Manager McGill, if you could do the announcements, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier tonight, Commission met in discussion session and received information and discussed the following items. We heard a presentation on the Alcoasand trunk transfer agreements and the associated required resolution. We heard a presentation on the municipality's Grow Grant project submissions for this year's application cycle. We received information and discussed possible traffic improvements for the Cedar Boulevard, Salem and Holly Crest intersection. We'll discuss that further as we go through the unassigned funds discussion and potentially into the budget discussions for this year. We heard a presentation from Gateway Engineers about an update on the status of the library building solar panel project that is now up and functioning. And we also received information from commissioners on boards that they serve as liaison to. Prior to that meeting, the commission met in executive session to receive legal advice from the solicitor on a variety of topics. The next regular meeting of the commission will be held on Tuesday, June 13th, right here in this room at 8 p.m. Here are the ways the public can participate. In person, you don't need to pre-register, simply show up at the appropriate meeting time, or remotely via Zoom webinar format. Again, you don't need to pre-register, simply click the link located on the meeting agenda on the municipal website. If you wish to speak during citizens' comments or during public hearings, simply use the raise hand feature on Zoom and you'll be notified when it is your turn to speak.
Okay, thank you. Next community highlights, Commissioner Grella, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's been a while since I've done this.
That's right.
Please help us honor Mount Lebanon's war dead at our Memorial Day ceremony at 8:30 a.m. on Monday, May 29th at the Veterans Memorial outside the Rec Center off Cedar Boulevard. Guest speaker will be retired United States Army Colonel Carmen DiGiacomo. The ceremony will also include the Mount Lebanon Fire and Police Departments and the Mount Lebanon High School Marching Band. The ceremony will conclude by 9 a.m. to allow everyone to go to the South Hills Memorial Day Parade, which starts in Brookline. First Fridays are back and the 2023.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's 2023, I know that for sure. Kicks off Friday, June 2nd with Polka Maniacs in Clearview Common on Washington Road from 7 to 10 p.m. The series returns in July and August as well with free admission and activities for kids and adults. Please consider coming early for some dinner and shopping in our Uptown Business District. Plenty of parking is available in both garages and in surface lots starting June 2nd, 2023. A 5K to benefit Hoover Elementary School will close some roads in that neighborhood from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturday, June 3rd. A detailed map is on our website, mountlebanon.org, under Trending Now.
That's called a walk in the woods. So if anybody has a chance to show up for walk in the woods, it's a fun walk.
June 3rd, 8 to 10 a.m. Best of luck to Hoover for a successful annual event. And finally, the Mount Lebanon Pool opens this Saturday, May 27th at 11 a.m. for adult lap swim at noon for the public. Weather permitting, passes are still on sale. That is all. Thank you, Mr. President.
Great, thank you very much. Mr. Flynn?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the distinct pleasure of reading a proclamation by the Mount Lebanon Commission. So the Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania proclamation recognizing June as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus Pride Month. Whereas the Commission of Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania recognizes and proclaims the month of June 2023 as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer plus Pride Month throughout the municipality of Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania. And whereas Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania joins communities across the nation to observe observe Pride Month to honor the history of the LGBTQ liberation movement and to support the rights of all citizens to experience equality and freedom from discrimination. And whereas Mount Lebanon has a diverse LGBTQ+ community and is committed to supporting visibility, dignity, and equity for all people in the community. And whereas all people, regardless of age, gender identity, race, color, religion, marital status, national origin, sexual orientation, or physical challenges have the right to be treated on the basis of their intrinsic value as human beings, and LGBTQ individuals have had immeasurable impact to the cultural, civic, and economic successes of our community. And whereas Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania accepts and welcomes people of diverse backgrounds and believes a diverse population leads to a more vibrant community and is committed to supporting visibility, dignity, and equality for LGBTQ people in our diverse community. And whereas celebrating Pride Month influences awareness and provides support and advocacy for Mount Lebanon's LGBTQ community, and is an opportunity to take action and engage in dialogue to strengthen alliances, build acceptance, and advance equal rights. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Commission of Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania hereby proclaims the month of June 2023 as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Plus Pride Month to inspire equity, create alliances, celebrate diversity, and establish safe environments throughout the municipality. And be it further resolved that the Commission of Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania fully supports the rights, freedoms, and equal treatment of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people in recognition of all LGBTQ residents whose influential and lasting contributions to our neighborhoods make Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania a vibrant community in which to live, work, and visit. Proclaimed this 23rd day of March 2023. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. All right, next on the agenda, citizens' comments. This is an opportunity for any resident to express an opinion on any topic pertaining to local government. Commission enjoys hearing from the public on various issues and learning about items to address in the future. If you have specific questions, we will try and answer them at the end of your comments. If we can't, we commit to getting you the answers as soon as possible. When I call your name, please come to the podium to address the commission. State your name and address for the record. In fairness, we ask each speaker to share their thoughts for 5 minutes. The community is as good as each person in this room and online. We work together to make this a community that we can all be proud of, and we hope the dialogue remains respectful. We also appreciate the audience's efforts to refrain from any behavior that is disruptive or might intimidate free speech. First on the list, Colonel Hoon.
Hillhane, 456 Coolidge Avenue. Once again, I want to revisit the Parks Advisory Board statement. And I have a question or two and some other items to point out. Mentioned 7 seasons of this deer killing thing. You know, I'm not a math scholar, but we got into this in 2004. We started mass killings in 2006, and then it proceeded for 17 years from there. How do we get 7 seasons?
For one, there was a break, I believe.
2 years.
So, no, there's a break. My understanding is that the earlier call ended around the time when Dan Miller was in office. So I recall that went for 2 years, I think 3 maybe, and then stopped until,
2 years.
no, I want to say longer than that. I want to say, someone's going to correct me here, but I'm thinking from, let's say it stopped from roughly 2008 to 2015 or so, more than 2 years, but I'm going to ask someone to look it up, exactly. But that's my recollection. It was for a couple of years when Barbara Logan was in office, and there was a break before it resumed. It was not 17 years continuous, but we'll get the exact dates for you. Someone's gonna have the exact years. Ian's looking it up. Say
Love
again?
to see that. Well,
So the
I don't
current
care
program
about
started in
current
2015.
program.
Okay.
The current program's something else. The fact is you're misleading the community when you say 7 years.
Well, I beg to differ that if it started in 2015, and Ian, I don't know if you
Well,
had in
that's
the
this
records of what had
particular
happened
thing.
before.
Perhaps with suburban wildlife management. Well, we've gone through 3 other contractors in addition to suburban wildlife management. Another point, I'm gonna drop that because this 5 minutes disappears real quick. Statement here is that excess deer are causing all this damage to the township, trees in particular. We had 2 aerial counts of the deer when they were unmolested. We had between 200 and 225 deer counted. That's not excess deer. We have 34,000 humans in this township. There's only one animal in the township that is here in excess, and that would be us. And we would not exist without industrial agriculture at this scale. So I take exception with the statement there are excess deer. There aren't. Then we get to an item on, this has had minimal effect on the residents. You know, if you look at the effect on the community, it's been phenomenal. We're known as stupid people here because all the people in communities around us have had zero problem with crashing vehicles and people dying and being maimed and all that stuff. Just hasn't happened. Hasn't happened here either, but that's your claim to the present killing. Effects on the community, okay, we're known as stupid in Mount Lebanon. How many people have moved because of the incredible brutality that we render on a fellow species, companion animals on this planet? There've been an awful lot. Sandra Lewis was the first one that I'm aware of that said, this is nonsense. They're not listening to us. The brutality of this program is off the charts. I'm out of here. So she left. One of several PhDs, I don't know how many PhDs we have left. There have been restrictions on access to parks, and you might say, well, you can go in there, but it's at your own risk. Well, you know, as soon as you see those yellow signs, people say, nah, don't need this. They don't go in the parks. Increased taxes. Yeah, say more about how much was wasted on this. It's unbelievable. Oh. I'll be back with more of the same.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot.
Colonel. All right, do we have anybody online who wishes to speak?
We have nobody online.
All righty, and that's all that's on the list. So, all right, so that concludes citizens' comments. Item 3, Commissioner Rainey, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of the minutes from the regular meeting held May 9th, 2023. I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 4, Commissioner Flynn, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction of ordinance bill number 4-23, amending the charter regarding commission vacancies. Currently, the Mount Lebanon Home Rule Charter provides that in the event of a commission vacancy, the remaining commissioners will appoint a qualified person to serve until the next available election. As recently demonstrated, this rule is cumbersome and sometimes confusing in that the next available election can require an extremely short appointment term and a short elected term. In addition, such election can take place when voters are not otherwise anticipating an election of this type at the municipal level. The proposed ordinance would result in commission vacancies being filled on the normal 2-year municipal election cycle found in the school code, the judicial codes, and municipal codes for municipalities, that are not home rule charter, or that are not home rule. The proposed ordinance would place the issue on the November 7th, 2023 general election ballot. The voters must approve the ordinance for it to be effective. And Mr. President, I introduce bill number 4-23.
Great, thank you. And we will set the public hearing for June 13th, 2023. Item 5, Commissioner Grella, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Request for final approval of an amendment to the site plan for the Public Works Facility at 1250 Lindendale Drive to add a fire training facility. The municipality of Mount Lebanon owns the property located at 1250 Lindendale Drive, where the Public Works Facility is currently. In 2017, the commission approved a revised site plan to the Public Works Facility to include additional storage facilities and structures. This revised site plan is requesting final approval to redevelop the site by installing a fire training facility, which will be located in between the firing range and the Public Works Storage Garage. The overall project will include the installation of a Public Works Storage Garage, which was approved as part of the 2017 site plan. The planning board recommended final approval of the site plan revision at their April 18th, 2023 meeting. All engineering comments have been addressed. I move to grant the final approval to the site plan amendments for the Public Works Facility at 1250 Lindendale Drive to include a fire training facility and the installation of the previously approved Public Works Storage Garage.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We have a member of the fire department here. If you have questions, Steve, did you want to come on down?
I just want to take a brief moment to thank Mr. McGill and the commission for all of their support in this project, as well as Representative Dan Miller. Obviously, he has secured us a pretty sizable grant that'll go a long way in making this project happen. And then finally, I'd like to thank Rudy Supel for allowing us to use part of the Public Works property for what's really going to be an invaluable training tool for our firefighters and really the end beneficiaries of that are the citizens of Mount. So on behalf of the fire department and the volunteer department, I'd like to thank them.
And we want to thank the volunteers for their contribution. They've committed a financial contribution to the project as well. So we thank them for that. All right, any other questions, comments? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 6, Commissioner Rainey, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of the execution of the development agreement for a retaining wall and grading at 256 Connecting Road. The municipal engineer and solicitor have recommended that the municipality enter into a developer's agreement with the property owners of 256 Connecting Road to ensure completion of the grading and installation of a retaining wall between the properties at 256 Connecting Road and 260 Connecting Road. I move to authorize the proper municipal officials to execute the development agreement between property owners Peter and Sarah Wagner and Mount Lebanon Municipality for the retaining wall and associated grading at 256 Connecting Road, contingent upon receipt of the required financial securities within 60 days.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 7, Commissioner Flynn, please.
Thank you again, Mr. President. Consideration of the execution of the Stormwater Operations Management Agreement for post-construction stormwater management at 62 Cedar Boulevard. The municipal engineer and solicitor have recommended that the municipality enter into a stormwater operations management agreement with the developer of 62 Cedar Boulevard. A new 2-family dwelling was constructed on the property with an on-site stormwater management, including an underground detention tank and subsurface infiltration. The tank maintenance will be the responsibility of the developer and any future property owners. I move to authorize the proper municipal officials to execute the Stormwater Operations Management Agreement between Flashpoint Partners LLC and Mount Lebanon for stormwater management at 62 Cedar Boulevard.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Any comments?
Sure, I am recusing myself from voting on this item as I have a financial interest in the property.
Great, thank you. Any other comments? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? So passes 3-0 with 1 abstention. Next, item 8, Commissioner Grella, please.
Mr. President, consideration of commencement of pension benefits for deferred participants. Mount Lebanon sponsors 3 defined pension benefit plans for their employees, general employees, police, and firefighters. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's Department of the Auditor General requires that all benefit commencements for the police pension plan be approved by the commission. It also recommends that all benefit commencements, regardless of plan type, be approved by the commission. The employees detailed below on the list on your screen and over here on the right side or everyone's left side have requested benefit commencement commensurate with the terms of their respective pension plans. I move to approve benefit commencement for Richard Bergen, Keith McGill, Richard Arbus, and Kathy Henderson.
Second.
All right, I think there's a little bit of discussion perhaps since one of the folks on the list is sitting next to me. Did
Do you
you
think
want to?
people are gonna be happy or sad? Darn, which way are you going with this?
Well, I just thought we should explain.
When I first started employment with the municipality, I was participating in our defined pension benefit plan. At about 7 years and a few months, I removed myself from that plan. And now I'm part of the defined contribution plan that the municipality offers. Had I separated employment with the municipality, I would have been able to start collecting that benefit at age 60. Under the IRS rules and rules of our plan, I am able to collect that benefit while still an active employee for the municipality once I reach the age of 62, which will happen in June. So that's the reason for the agenda item tonight. That includes my name.
I understand there's no resignation or anything coming up.
No, sir, I'm not planning one unless you're requesting one.
No, I just thought it's clear for the group to know that, what your intentions are and your intentions are to stay. So, awesome. Any other questions, comments?
I just don't know how you get to 62 without having more gray hair.
Oh, that's Sarah.
Not everybody looks like us, Andrew.
I'm a mess internal.
Moving on from that. Any other questions, comments? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 9, Mr. Rainey, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of an award for Mount Lebanon's 2023 to 2024 insurance program. The non-employment related insurances for the municipality expire on June 5th, 2023. This includes property, equipment, crime, automobile, general liability, professional, and umbrella coverages. For the upcoming year, staff is recommending the quote from our current broker of record, HUB International Limited, with the insurance providers outlined on your screen. Give you a moment to read it. There are minimal changes to the coverage deductibles or limits for the next year. The general fund will be responsible for $368,874, and the parking fund will pay $21,386. I move to authorize the placement of insurance for 2023-2024 through HUB International Limited at a cumulative premium of $390,260.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? I think Andrew has to weigh in on this one. I'm sorry, not Prairie.
No, nothing. Okay.
All right, commission clear? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 10, Mr. Flynn, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of the expenditure list for April. I move to approve the expenditure list for April totaling $4,085,748.17.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 11, Commissioner Grella, please.
Mr. President, I ask that the departmental reports be received and filed.
They shall be, and we are adjourned.
Right.
8:30.
That's a long meeting or a short one?
Close to our record. I think we have 8:25. Nice job. This proclamation, by the way. You're doing all kinds of stuff. Love it.
I was feeling inspired that day.
Yeah.
I haven't felt
And we're
inspired
gonna
since.
get some this year.
No.
Maybe fix that Cedar intersection.
What's that?
Yeah.